Right on the hill?
Mo Gucci.
Yeah, the ones from the Bronx. Right? Man, there's truth in the streets.
For real?
What?
Man, let me see that
Look
shit.
at me.
Yo, I see that shit. Oh, shit.
New York till they die.
What?
Repping every day.
BX?
Oh, come on, man.
Man, let me see that.
I talk, you watch. Coming in hot from the BS to the block. We got Joe Chapo and lot on the hill. You know the drill. Hit the like button, you know the deal. Yeah, we the truth of the streets. If they only knew. We the truth of the streets. If they only knew. We the truth of the streets. We the truth of the streets. We the truth of the streets. If they only knew.
What up? It's your boy Joe Chapo back in the building. Another edition of If They Only Knew. As always, you got your boy Mo Gucci BX. What up, Mo?
Yo, what's good? What's good? Don't forget to subscribe, hit that like button, share, tap that bell too, so you can get that notification. We got a good one today, y'all.
Oh yeah, definitely, Mo. We got a crazy one today. I don't know, maybe somebody's been stuck in a damn room somewhere, in a cave somewhere, on the island somewhere. If they haven't watched this season of 60 Days In, they missed the fuck out.
They did.
But sir, please introduce yourself.
Well, my name is Darius on the season of 60 Days In, but my real name is DONTAE. Everybody call me Tay, Dante, something like that. But yeah, I did a little bit of time in prison. That's how I really got selected for even being known to come on 60 Days In. But before all that, I was just pretty much a military brat, grew up without a father, little rug rat, you know what I'm saying? Just ran the streets, ain't had nothing to do, supposed to be in before when the street light came on, but nobody had time to get it. Was always late and get a bunch of whoopings until that led me down the wrong path, some gang life, and then as well as just getting into trouble, breaking into cars initially. And then that got me a little bit of time, didn't learn my lesson there, and then ended up with the armed robbery charge. But that one
let's kind of take it. Let's take it a little slow and shit. We throw out all the information on them. They like to hear the details and shit. So, again, let's start with your childhood. Tell us a little bit, about your hometown, just how you grew up, your neighborhood, maybe.
So, I'm a military brat. I kind of grew up all over. I was initially born in Germany. Probably stayed there for a few years, and just bounced from all over, man. Like I've probably lived in like 14 to 15 states. When I say lived in, I've stayed there around 6 months to maybe a 3-year span. Mainly South Carolina is what I claim. South and North Carolina. Went to all my high school years in North Carolina, so that's why I really rock with North Carolina. And plus, I'm a Tar Heel fan. I don't know why I've always been drawn to the Tar Heels since I was a little chap, and then just going to high school in North Carolina just seemed right.
I lived in North Carolina, Greensboro, for a couple years.
Okay, Fayetteville, Fayetteville.
Yeah,
Call it a nom.
Yeah.
But my grandma pretty much stayed in traveler's rest her whole life, so I could been back and forth there, traveler's rest, South Carolina, and then like I said, bouncing around from place to place. So man, like I said, I've just been all over, man. So when people ask me where I'm from, where I've been, all over.
Outside looking in, we like that's cool as hell. How was that for you? Was it you said 3 to 6 months in each area, maybe?
Yeah, military life may seem great, and it was cool, man, because you know what I'm saying, I stayed in Hawaii for 3 years, you know what I'm saying, so I seen the whole island of Hawaii. I lived in Washington State, lived in Georgia, been in Virginia. Like I said, I went back to Germany as an adult when I joined the military myself, so I've been all over the place. But then when I look back on it now, being 40 years old, is I've never really had no stability anywhere. So when you think about it, I look at all my other friends now, they have friendships for 40 and 30 years, you know what I'm saying? My longest friendship is probably like 10, 15 years when I think about it. And that's because I've just been moving all over place to place.
Wow.
Yeah. When you put it like that, because I'm like, shit, you got to travel, you got to see all the shit, different women.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's love, man.
You don't get to grow up with friends and shit. Like me and Chapo know each other from like what
40 plus years, maybe.
Yeah, I'm 45. He's 45.
I think we met in the second grade, I think, or something like that.
That's wild. See, I know. I don't even know. I don't even remember the second grade.
Yo, crazy enough, I can remember preschool. I remember all that shit.
Yeah. I wish I'm not one of them babies. I'm like, my first memory is probably when I'm like 5 or 6.
Oh man, yeah. You got to dig deep, yo. I'm gonna help you find them spots, man.
Maybe that's trauma I'm trying to put deep.
Just lay down and tell me about yourself, But so I know, with that being said, you never really got to, have a real foundation and all that. and you claim North Carolina as your hometown. Was it North Carolina that kind of where you kind of jumped off the porch and kind of started heading in that direction?
Man, honestly, man, it wasn't even North Carolina. Like I said, that began from every time from my youngest memories, man, stealing from strangers and stealing from like the shopette, which we know on like military bases is like our local grocery store or whatever. Going to the PX, stealing, like those are like my youngest memories. Just I feel like I came out the womb just stealing and being managed, man. I don't even know why, to be honest. Well, I could say, you know, maybe that father figure I yearned to do something, so I was always just trying to fit in with whoever. My mom was always at work; she was in the military, so you know, it wasn't like she was around, and I was the kid by myself all the time. So I just did what I wanted to do. You know, I didn't have no money, so if I wanted it, I wanted to go take it, which is, you know, unfortunate at a young age. I didn't have a father figure and a mother in my life to maybe kind of hold me back. And that's no excuse, because I know people who got fathers out there too who do dumb shit. So that's definitely no excuse at all, you know.
I mean, to be honest, that's kid stuff right there.
Yeah,
I think at some point just about every kid stole something.
We don't look at it as
really,
dangerous.
I wouldn't hold that as some, you know, you started that early, you know, because that's just kid shit. We that's opportunity.
Exactly.
Andy, something free opportunity. Hell yeah.
Let me get this. So I guess it just started from there, you know, and just I will always say like the crowd I got around, and I was never encouraged to get around positive individuals. I take that back. You know, I'm like, don't hang with them, but you like whatever, mom. You know what I'm saying? But I was never encouraged to go to school, or never encouraged to go learn the right things or actually go get on the path. Who knew? Hell, at that young age, we really wasn't even told what the right path was. We was just told not to do something when we was doing something wrong. You know what I'm saying? That's all we knew. So that's what I was doing, just hanging out with whoever kind of accepted me at that age. Because again, you know, I was a military brat, I talk proper. You know, I got made fun of that a lot. You know, especially going in the hood, boy. You know, against a lot of fights. The way
you feel like you have to prove yourself more.
Oh my God, yeah, you already know, man. Just because, you know, I'm not black, or I wasn't black enough back then as a kid. You know, but you know, sometimes you have to prove yourself. But yeah, that was just all part of life, you know. And back in our day, you know, we would never complain about the stuff that we had to go through. You know, it's just a day in our life. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, just keep it moving.
Yeah, that's dope, man. But so, what was life like as a teen? I mean, was it typical? Was you still in the travel mode from going state to state, country to country?
Yeah, so I probably settled down when I was 15. I would say so, going right into high school. So I went to high school when I was 14. Yeah, so I went to high school when I was 14, and I had just transitioned from Hawaii to Louisiana, right to North Carolina. And then North Carolina, that's where my mom was like, "We're not going nowhere else. We're gonna stay here. This is where I'm gonna retire in the military." So that was like, okay, finally, home base. I think that's why I called it home base. There you go. That was my answer. So So from North Carolina, I guess that's where I discovered, you know what I'm saying, smoking weed, and just really, you know what I'm saying, I was a teen. That's when, you know, you really discover girls, you discover all things, you know what I'm saying, discover money, what money really mean to me, you know what I'm saying, or what I thought it meant at that young age. I need money, you know what I'm saying, I'm not about to go get no job, you know, but I was a mix, man. Like, I was a responsible thug. You know what I'm saying? I used to call myself like a little pretty boy thug, you know what I'm saying? That was the moniker a lot of people used to give me. Just because, you know what I'm saying, I was so proper, and I would talk with respect, but at the same time, people already know what time it was too if I had to go there. But yeah, man, just childhood was what it was. Had a bunch of homeboys, you know what I'm saying? You know, I was, again, we're not gonna hear to talk about certain things, but certain affiliations, you know what I'm saying, that I knew and hung around and did the things that they did, you know what I'm saying? Just wanted to be cool, if I could keep it a buck with you. I was the type of kid who I was dumb, man. I started smoking cigarettes just to be cool. Didn't even like smoking cigarettes. I literally started smoking cigarettes just because my friends and shit was doing it. So just start getting around them, man. We start breaking the cars, and that was when I really started getting in trouble, you know what I'm saying? Start breaking the cars, and I used to find guns and stuff. Found a gun from a cop one time, and one of my homeboys, this is how you know your friends ain't shit. One of my homeboys found it, stole it from me, basically got caught with it, and then told on me. So I ended up going to jail for that one time. Yeah, that was my first time ever catching like a real charge. So just
how long you did on that one?
So actually, North Carolina's love, man. So the laws of North Carolina are sweet. I only got probation, and it was unsupervised probation at that. So I really don't even have that on my gun charge. Shit. Cop gun, breaking and entering. Why don't they try to give me? It was like two or three, some kind of charges they gave me.
Oh, you
But
got
North Carolina,
Talk
I'll let
about
go
a
away.
slap on the wrist.
Yeah, you got blessed
pretty
on
much.
that one. Yeah.
Yeah, oh yeah. Like I got to go to the military off of it and everything, so it wasn't too serious. That's how
Oh,
that's
okay,
how much love it is.
okay.
Like North Carolina, man, if I would have caught my armed robbery charge, what I caught in South Carolina and North Carolina, I ain't gonna say same thing, but it would have been some kind of probation or something similar, or it wouldn't even been armed robbery charge. It would have been accessory, to be honest. But South Carolina, man, they don't play no game.
They got it good over there. Now, like everybody can go over there and start robbing shit now.
God forbid. We don't want
Dante knows to do it.
that.
He said it's easy as hell.
I don't hate that time. I'm telling you.
Them younger years, boy.
So, all right. So what? See, like you could tell just talking to you that you're different. You know what I'm saying? You're not the typical supposedly street dude. You know, I put these out there, shit. Yeah, supposedly thug dude or whatever, shit. Yeah, because they see 10 years behind your name and shit. Yeah.
Yeah,
And automatically they think, he was probably out there bugging the fuck out, running the streets, doing this, that, and the other. Yeah.
Nah.
Again, it seems like, I mean, you said it already. I mean, it seems like you had the sense, to know right from wrong this whole time and shit. Like, what possessed you to do this armed robbery?
So the armed robbery in particular. So this is just a situation where I'm pretty much I won't say I'm an adult because obviously I'm still making dumb decisions. But I come from a place where, okay, I have to go back to when I was a kid. So as a kid, when I used to ask for something always, and your mom be like, no.
Yeah,
So
I come from that. I know. Yes.
Always told no. So till this day, I don't like asking for shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I refuse to ask for shit because you can't tell me no. You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
So with all that being said, I also have a bad tendency of just like in every situation, I won't speak up. Used to. You know what I'm saying? So in certain situations when I know my homeboy's about to do some stupid shit, I just be like, oh, here we go again. Instead of saying, hey man, let's not do this shit. Let's go. You know what I'm saying? I'm just like, fuck, here we go again. I guess, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to be the one. Oh, come on.
We was trained for that though. We was trained not to, interfere because you look like the soft one.
Exactly. So with that being said, one night, some complete stranger, man. I don't even know this dude who interviewed my co-defendant. Me and my homeboy was chilling in South Carolina, and I'll try to make a long story short. My girlfriend at the time, her homegirl was getting beat up by this dude. I'm going to just call him Craig. His name I made up out the air. So Craig used to be a woman beater. And then just like 90% of the women do, they get back with the dude who used to beat them up. Mm-hmm. So my girlfriend's friend ended up getting back with Craig. So Craig ended up coming over our house for the weekend because the girl she was living with us at this time. She'd been living with us for probably 3 months. So not gonna lie, Craig seemed real chill. You know what I'm saying? For the 17 hours that I knew Craig, you know what I'm saying? Craig was a straight person. You know what I'm saying? All we did was party and get drunk anyway. So obviously everybody cool when you drunk. Man. So that's what we did. And then he offered us to come to his city, Charleston, South Carolina. And my job at the time, like I said, I was semi-responsible. I used to sell weed and I used to work at Burger King. That's what I was doing. So I'm gonna keep it a buck. Me having to rob anybody is something that I never really needed to do, especially at that point in time. Previously, you know what I'm saying? Maybe, you know what I'm saying? You would have caught me a few years ago, probably got, and again, that's why I say this armed robbery charge caught up to me too, because I've done some stuff that I've never gotten caught for. So maybe this was just like God or whoever, universe saying, we got you now, sit back and learn. Yeah. But anyways, so we ended up going to Charleston one night, and earlier in the day, Craig came back. Because he was a personal trainer. He came back early as hell, probably like 11 o'clock from work. Came in with like this big bottle of liquor. I proceed to pretty much hammer the bottle. I get trashed before 12. I'm pretty much, it's over with. Not even gonna lie, you know what I'm saying? I'm over. I really shouldn't have been walking. But so we're downtown just having a good time. I'm the type of person when I'm out of town, like you said, I'm like a totally different person. I'm just totally different person when I'm out of town. I let loose because you're on vacation. That's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to have a good time. Right. So I'm here just yelling at the window, yelling at the dudes, yelling at the girls. Yo, what's up? Where the party at? You know what I'm saying? What's up? What's going down tonight? We looking for something to get into. You know what I'm saying? One dude didn't like me yelling, apparently. He was like, hey, man, F you, or some smart shit like that he was saying. So we stopped the car, started into a conversation with him. And then I ain't gonna lie, that's what I'm saying. My life was like a movie, man, because it really is. This was like some shit that came out of a movie, man. It was like he really set us up. So he was like, come on in. So when we get out of the car, and I ain't gonna lie, I was following one-on-one. We'll get him square him, but I guess it seemed like we was gonna jump him or something because we all got out the car. And it's like 12 people came out the cut, like out of trash cans. It seemed like they was coming out the car. People was in the trunk. I don't know how to explain it.
Come on.
Yeah, they was coming out of everywhere, and they was like, "Hey, come on in." We was like, "Nah," like
You know what?
Yeah, we ain't stupid, you know what I'm saying? We about to get
Y'all
jumped.
lucky, yo. You lucky. I gotta go.
Yeah, for real. Like, no, let's get back in the car. So we ended up getting back in the car, and so we was riding, and Craig was like, "Yo, I got to get into the house." And at the time when we was talking about the gun, we was like, just in case we run into a situation like this again and some stuff like that, yada, yada, yada. We ended up driving like 20, 30 minutes, go back to the house, get the gun, come back downtown. We ain't gonna lie, we did ride back in the area just in case, you know what I'm saying? We seen him or whatever, which we shouldn't have did, but we did that. And so we couldn't find them. About 2 hours rolled by. So we was like, let's go get trashed again. Now, by this time, it's probably like 6, 7 o'clock at night. I'm pretty much almost sobered up, you know what I'm saying? And now we're again walking around downtown. My best friend and then Craig, they're now getting trashed. I'm pretty much sober. Now we leave the bars. It's probably like around probably like 8, 9 o'clock at night. We're walking downtown Charleston. If anybody know anything about Charleston is like college town, party town. Everybody's always going to be out. Craig's walking down the street, kicking trash cans, just being, hate the stereotype, but I'm about to right now. So Craig is a white guy, and you know when drunk white guys like they have stereotype, they get loud and boisterous, and yeah.
Yeah, we all have one of those in the circle. Yeah, we all have one of those in the circle.
That was definitely Craig at that time. So then this conversations at that time also got to put a little context behind it. There was a bunch of robberies going on, and these dudes robbed this armored truck and they got away with it. And yeah, it was like 4 dudes. They robbed the armored truck. They got away with it. It was like the talk of the town. And the only reason one dude ended up getting caught was because obviously one dude was always dumb. He started spending too much money, and the feds caught him and started watching him and stuff like that. And he was telling stories. But anyways, they locked him up, whatever. So we started having this conversation that night, and it was on some stuff. You know how homeboys do when we get around each other, just talking about if that was us, what we would do. You know what I'm saying? Man, nigga, we would have did. Man, we would have, and we would do some shit like that. And obviously,
plus y'all already have the hammer on y'all.
Yeah,
that adds a whole lot to it.
It's power.
Yeah, it does. It really does. So now keep in mind, Craig got it on him at this point in time. Now me, the conscious one, I'm like, all right, this is a good look. So even my homeboy was feeling that same vibe. So I ended up getting the hammer from Craig. So he was good because, like you said, just like old buddy had it. So he was, and he was also saying something. And I don't want to like, demean his character and nothing like that because he was drunk, you know what I'm saying? I don't know him anymore. I did, like I said, I've only known this dude for like 17 hours. But he was just talking crazy, man, like causing bodily harm to people for no reason. That being said, that was another reason that I decided I took the gun from him, and it was on me until we proceeded to get to his car. Now it took us about another 30 minutes to get to his car. Ended up getting in his car, riding around downtown. Craig is so drunk. So you got Mount Pleasant and then you got Columbia. They're probably about 30, 45 minutes from each other. If you live in South Carolina, I'm saying that because Craig lived on Mount Pleasant and we went to downtown Charleston because that's where the bumping place is. Mount Pleasant is like uppity, and that's where all the like the rich people stay in essence. And Craig was. So so we were staying at Craig's house. So I was driving, and no lie, we was riding around for about 27 minutes. Long.
To be exact.
Right. Yeah. In circles. Like when I say in circles, I'm like, okay, this right here looks familiar. This looks like the way we came, man. He was like, nah, don't go there. Don't go that way. Now, when you come into downtown Charleston, it looked raggedy. Straight hood, straight ratchet. Ain't gonna lie. That's what it looked like when you come into downtown Charleston. But once you get past that ratchetness of downtown Charleston, it's beautiful. Yeah. So I noticed the ratchet part of the city, and I was like, "Hey, man, that's the way we need to go, right?" And he was, "Nah, let's not go that way." Me at the time, not thinking he don't want to go that way because it's nighttime and he don't want to go through the hood. I'm just thinking, you know what I'm saying? He just, that's not the way we're supposed to go. So after driving around, man, and keep in mind, probably like 20 minutes earlier, I done text my girl. I was like, "Hey, man, this dude's crazy. By the time you wake up in the morning, I will be holding you in your arms." Greenville and Charleston's about 3 hours away. Me and my homeboy had already talked to each other. We was like, as soon as we get back to his house, we leaving because this dude's kind of, you know what I'm saying? He just wasn't our flow, you know what I'm saying? We was kind of past that life, you know what I'm saying? But we didn't make it because so when I stopped, I asked this dude for directions. I was like, "Hey, man," because I knew I knew Mount Pleasant was on this highway, but I just didn't know like how to get to that highway. So then I stopped and asked.
Yeah, because we were in GPS back then. This is a long time ago.
Yeah, this is South Carolina.
This
is all new to me. I don't know nothing. I don't know the area. This is straight new. I've only been down here one time. You know, so I stopped and asked somebody for directions. Dude gave me directions, and I was like, bet. So as I'm the driver, so I'm about to do some reenactment type stuff. So now I'm the driver, and I got the thing on me because I had the hammer on me in my waistband. I took it out, I put it in the console, the little middle console, and that was the worst mistake I ever made in my life. Because when I did that, right, and I started getting situated and put my seatbelt on, Craig then took it. He then got the jack on him, then jumped out the car, and then ran up on old buddy. Now, common sense would tell me and everybody else what he just went to go do, right? Now, he didn't tell us this was his plan, and this is just not me. This is like I told you, me and my best friend, he was in the car too. So what I did was I immediately turned around. I told my homie, I was like, yo, man, go get this motherfucker and make sure he don't do nothing crazy. That's exactly what I said. My homie, he jumped out the car. He walked up right next to him. I just saw my homeboy just like post up to him, like observing the conversation. You know what I'm saying? They come back in the car. As soon as they get back in the car, this is no lie. This is because maybe or I may or may not have experience in these matters if it was an actual planned robbery. I asked him, I was like, yo, so you got his phone, right? No. Wow. I was like, so I turned around. I was like, we got to get the fuck up out of here. You know what I'm saying? It's time to go. Because by the time I looked up, he's walking. He's already on his phone. Like he's already,
and probably took a picture of the license plate.
Yeah. So you already know what time it is. So, and then what make it even worse is Craig got this car, man, that is, it's a Honda. It's a blue Honda. Back in the day, you know how everybody used to put lights under their car, the loud spokes, the loud exhaust and all that. It was one of them. So you can describe it. You can't get away. It was loud. Like his car was loud. Like you
just follow the sound and shit.
Yeah, exactly. But anyway, so we ended up trying to dip up out of there. And by the time, because obviously downtown, right there, they got cops downtown just because of randomness. By the time we even got close to the highway, man, I saw a cop pulling behind us. He was just cruising behind us because he was waiting for the rest of his boys to get there in his chopper.
My heart would have hurt right there.
Yeah.
Damn.
So, yeah. That was my last time seeing him for a while.
What was the stretch you faced at that moment?
So
what was your bid?
So they came at me. They wanted to do like 16 years. I ain't gonna lie. When it happened, man, I was like, man, I didn't do nothing.
I don't know, Craig. Fuck that. Craig did that shit. I don't know, Craig.
You're an accomplice, and the fact that
I'm bonding out tonight. I don't care what they talk about. Then they hit me with a what was my bond? I had to pay $50,000, so it would have been $500,000. I think my bond was like $500,000 or something astronomical or something like that. And about 3 months later, they dropped to like $100,000, and then like a few days after they dropped it to $100,000, they dropped it to like 70, and I ended up bonding out. I had to give somebody like $22,000 to get out. But and this is why it also made it hard for me to bond out, because Craig was calling all the bondsmen before me because he was privileged. He could have probably afforded to bond out immediately. Yeah. He was telling all of them that it was my fault. It was my plan. My fault. He was naming me DONTAE. He was saying it was my fault. It was the bondsmen. The bonds companies. You switch into the bonds companies first of all, and then you
on the jail phone.
Yeah. So saying I didn't know none of this. So when I'm calling some bond companies, some of them like, oh, you're that dude who, oh no, we can't mess with you. Oh, you're that. So automatically the white dude blamed the black guy to make it seem worse and make another. And this has no relevancy to the thing. So the main reason I did 10 years because they initially came at me with something called the Y in South Carolina, where you can do like 2 years, but you have to take the stand and you got to testify. In essence, that's what it is. And you know how we grew up. We ain't taking no stand.
Like, man, fuck that. Craig did it. He right there, yo. He right there in the suit.
Which I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, I definitely tried to push the weight on Craig. I will keep it a buck. I definitely tried to push.
No, because at that point, see what a lot of people fail to understand. If you're in that situation and you got Craig pointing fingers, It's my job to tell the truth, my truth.
Yep.
This is exactly what happened, and I'm gonna say the story. And that's not me snitching. That's me just telling you my part.
Yeah, it's like, and I'm like, and I'm just on some stuff like the dude who you robbed. He know what just happened.
That's what I don't understand. Did he come in and face that?
Before it's over, they know what happened. They like so the thing in South Carolina. So this is why we always have to know state laws, which I wish I knew about. I knew nothing about laws. He's out here committing all these dumb crimes, and I know nothing about what can happen to me. So in South Carolina, they have a thing where it doesn't matter if you are with somebody who's doing a crime, if you know about somebody who's doing a crime. If somebody did a crime, they left that crime, came to your house, sat on your couch, chilled with you for about an hour and a half, and left your house, didn't even tell you that they did the crime, they can charge you with the crime that they just committed.
That's so fucked up.
Yeah,
man.
It's called the hand of one, hand of all, and that is an actual thing in South Carolina. Look it up. Wow. They use this law all the time because they try to say that you are a principal at this point because you are in conversation or cahoots with the person who is the main with the main person who's doing all the crime. So it's crazy. So that was the law that I got charged under, the hands of one at the hand of all. Because even so, like I said, I keep it a book. If I do something stupid, man, I'm the type of person like I'll own up to it. The main reason I went to jail in North Carolina and caught that charge when I told you I was breaking the cars. Yeah. I didn't get caught breaking in. I mean, I didn't get caught with the gun. I told y'all my homeboy got caught with the gun and told on me. I could have been on some stuff like, nah, it won't me. I don't know what you're talking about. I've never seen it in my life. I could have did that. But I'm a man. I believe if I'm out there doing dirt, I'm a claim. I'm saying when it come back around, I'm gonna own up to what I did. Exactly. And that's just what I did. And that's what I felt. So in this same situation, I'm like, man, I didn't rob nobody. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we were having conversations about robbing people, man. But you know how many dumb conversations I've had in my life about doing dumb shit, and I never went to go ask them.
We having them conversations.
Yeah. So and they ended up didn't want to hear that. They didn't go for it. And the main reason they were mad was because Eric testified against my homeboy, and I didn't take the stand against nobody. Like I would have took the stand against Eric. I ain't gonna lie, I probably would have. I ain't gonna say probably. I would have.
At that point, I don't owe you no respect. There's no respect level. Straight up.
It ain't like y'all did a job together and y'all just got busted. He was on some reckless shit, yo. And he got y'all busted, man. Fuck that.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, why would I take a stand against my homeboy when again it goes back to y'all already know what happened. Like y'all already know what happened, man. Like, and I even said like the only reason that my homeboy got out the car was because of my word. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm a firm believer. My homeboy probably just sat in the car like, man, fuck this nigga. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna lie. That's what my homeboy probably would have did the entire time.
He got out on the strength that you were like, yo,
go
I was
like, go get this dude, man. So you know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna lie. To this day, I tell my homeboy all the time, like, you know what I'm saying? I kind of feel bad for that because you probably, you know what I'm saying? You probably never would have did no time. You know what I'm saying? Maybe
everything happens for a reason. You know, as hard as that pill is to swallow at that moment, you know, I'm sure within that time you understood why it all happened. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Now, I mean, I didn't. I say, yeah, definitely at the time I didn't, but now, like, it's crazy.
It makes sense.
It's crazy how the story of me going to jail is making like my story now just more in depth. Like it seems like my story is getting layered more and more every year, man. And I can't even lie. It's crazy. I had to go to jail for that damn long to, you know what I'm saying, be able to just share my experience, man. Not only hopefully to show other people like there's other ways to make money, but also show other people that, you know, you really don't need nobody else at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? Be careful who you hang with. You know what I'm saying? Watch your circle. Because we only get one life, and that one felony cost me so much, man. You know, I got to ask somebody if I can go rent from them. You know what I'm saying? I can't just, you know, I can't go anywhere like everybody else. I can't go rent from places just because I'm a felon, and there's no laws to protect felons from renting at certain spots, you know, and that's a problem. That's my fault. You know, I caused myself, and I got felons before my armed robbery charge. So I really did way more than 10 years in prison. That's just the one that everybody focuses on. But, and most of it is my fault, the shit that I was doing. You know what I'm saying? I can't blame nobody but me. But once you commit one crime, man, and you get that felony on you, it's
hard to live life after that.
Yeah,
even you paying your penalty, but coming home trying to live your life after the fact is hard. It is hard.
Yeah, because even the people that you rock with still look at you like that felon, you know.
No matter
Some
how
family
much you try to
members,
Yeah.
the people like it's bad, man. It's
Yeah.
yeah.
Trust me, we know we got just about. It's so sad to say, but I say probably 4 out of 5 people that I know and shit has been locked up
Mhm.
in some way, shape, or form. And it's so
Yep.
fucked up, yo. It's
Yeah.
so fucked up. And that law that you was talking about, you said hand. What was it? Hand.
The hand of one is the hand of all.
That's
Yo,
a
that's
fucked up
crazy.
law because you could drag a whole bunch of people into some shit without them even knowing it, without you even knowing.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? If you're
And
ignorant
it
of the
happens,
law, you
man.
could
Like,
drag your moms, pops, cousins, sister, have all these people arrested and shit. Yo, that's fucked
and
up.
it happens, and that's what people don't know. Like, I should have got smarter, but it
Right.
really happened. Like, people don't even.
Okay, you need to go grab some. Go grab some. Don't worry about it. Yeah.
Oh,
Will
yeah,
can,
yeah, I'll be all right.
we chilling right now.
Yeah.
Yo. This conversation. Fuck that. Yeah, I know the feeling and shit. If I didn't have this coffee, I'm like, oh fuck.
Right? Nah, that should be crazy though, man. It'd be like that. That should
Hand
just
of one, hand of all, yo.
fucking.
That sounds like some law that was made up, like fucking.
But it depends because if it's Commonwealth, then yeah, they could come up with that shit right now. Like, let's just make this law right here. Boom. You know what I'm saying? That's how that works. But
why create a law to drag a whole bunch of people down?
because
It seems like it's
easier for them
focused
to
on
get
certain group of people.
it's easier for them to get the person they really want. So if you on the run, right? And,
No, it's easier for them to get more people in that shit, yo.
Yeah, because people start talking like, I'll give you this one, I'll give you that one, let us all go.
Like, you see, normally, like when the feds got you and shit, they come in, they swoop up everybody. Like, you know, they got the case sealed up and shit. This is just wrong place, wrong time. I'm gonna take you down with me type shit, yo.
Exactly.
That's a hard pill to swallow and shit, yo. Fuck that.
Jeez.
All right, you good now, man? You good?
Oh yeah.
All right, man. So, all right. So, what was it like? Well, you said you already did bids behind that, so we're gonna skip that. We ain't even gonna focus on that. I just want to hear what's the craziest shit you seen in that 10-year bid.
Oh man, so I mean, we get in a bid if you want to, because I ain't gonna lie, man. I've been in jail. I've been in so many jails. Even when I was in the military, I got into a little scuffle where I ended up having to do military prison time.
Oh shit!
And
What was that like?
Yeah, I
was 17 when I had to go to military prison, and that was because I was 17 when I joined prison when I joined the military. But that was an eye opener, man. 17 in prison. It's been around a bunch of grown men. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how to explain it, because
Was it the same type of atmosphere though?
Yeah, no, it wasn't. That's why I say that 10-year bid was completely different. That 10-year bid was an eye opener. But
when you walked doing that 10-year bid, it was like your first time going to jail. Like
word, yeah. That's
that's
crazy.
what I want to know how that was like walking in those doors for the first time.
So that's why I'm saying, like, military is so structured. The military jail was so structured. It was like everybody was just following the rules.
Because they were used to the fucking rules every day anyway.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So even jail, even when you go to a normal jail, you know, everybody ain't following the rules. You got certain individuals bucking. And in military jail, you got everybody following the rules. So that was a cultural shock to me. I was like, oh, these people, they train. Okay, so I'll get back to doing a 10-year bid. When I walk on the yard, it's just a different atmosphere. Because again, jail and prison is two different things. People will never understand that, but it is. So, and then they sent me to the second worst yard in the state, which is called Libra. And then they sent me to the second worst dorm, which is on the yard, which was Charleston. And the only reason they couldn't send me to Ashley because I wasn't a young boy. I wasn't young, but they would have, boy. And that's the war dorm. But they sent me to Charleston. So I got this mentality of, prison, it's going to be structured. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
It's not going to be like, it's not going to be like, because even like our county is kind of like rough too, man. You know what I'm saying? Our county probably don't get enough respect, but our county's a little bit rough too.
Yeah, I seen documentaries on the prisons you talking about. It should be real.
So I walk on the yard and I got my bag on me. Now walking on the yard is like the Green Mile itself, so that's just a feeling, everybody watching you and stuff like that. But then when you walk in the dorm, they just shut down cigarettes probably like 4 months before I actually started doing my bid. You can't tell them that, because I walked in the dorm, niggas on the rock smoking, burning, niggas on the rock on the phones, on their cell phone, just chilling. I'm like, what?
That's how you know you shit about to be real bad up here, yo.
And that's how you know, because when you don't care, you already know it's the jungle. Because nobody care, man. I'm talking about, I'm saying I'm definitely not the biggest dude. I'm a skinny nigga. So walking in, you seeing niggas with their shirt off, just walk like some like, jail is not like what you see on TV, but like you get certain images from TV that you kind of equate. So when you see like these big dudes walking around, I'm like, God damn, but this is some shit. And it was, man. The first month and a half of my bid was probably the roughest time of my entire bid period, man. Like, it's true. When you go to jail, you're probably gonna have to fight just because people are gonna try you. Like, it feels like everybody needs to find where they are on the totem pole. Like, it's just a thing. I can't explain it. You can be the strongest person in the dorm. It don't matter. You can walk in there thinking you're the strongest person in the dorm. Yeah, you go find out. You know what I'm saying? And that's just what it kind of was with me, man. People just felt like, again, I can pick on the small dude syndrome all the time, you know what I'm saying? And it just used not to say pick on me, but felt like they can say something to me and I wouldn't say something back or feel like I'm gonna be the one. Okay, so like the first fight I got into was there probably like 2 weeks. They put me, my first job was in the kitchen. So on my day off from the kitchen, I had one of my homeboys back there. He was working in the kitchen. So in our prison, when you're on the worst jail or in the worst prisons in our yard, they block it so you can't see nobody serving the tray. It's a hole. All you see is a tray coming out. You don't know what's coming. You just see a tray coming out. So, but you can yell like, yo, you know what I'm saying? It's me. I'm third, fourth, or whatever it is, and let them know you're coming. So I was letting my partner know, like, yo, I'm coming through. Let me get some extra eggs because this was early in the morning for breakfast. Yo, I'm coming through. Let me get some extra eggs. All right, let me know which one you are. And I think I may have missed it or something like that. He's like, you supposed to be here? And I bent down, put my head in a little window. I was like, yo, I'm saying I'm coming right here. Dude behind me, you know what I'm saying? Respect to all my Muslims, but I'm about to tell a Muslim story. Respect to all my Muslims. But this dude behind me, he was a Muslim. He hated me, man. I don't know why. Sometimes you just run into people who just don't like you, man.
Yeah. You're not for everybody. You know what I mean?
This is a situation
where it's about peace.
Word. This dude didn't like me, man. So I bent over and I was trying to yell for eggs. And dude was like, yo, man, I ain't with that gay shit. What the hell you doing? So I turned around and I was like, what? He's like, man, I ain't with that. You know what? You got to see me when we get to the dorm. So I kind of like laughed because I thought he was playing a little bit. But then I kind of realized, I mean, you know how you get that split second. Like I was laughing and I realized like he was serious. And I was like, bro, and it's not like I was copping deuces, but I'm the type of person like I try to talk rationally first. Like, bro, I wasn't trying to disrespect you, you know what I'm saying? My bad, you know what I'm saying? I was trying to get the extra egg.
He was already on 10 though.
Yeah, exactly. Oh no, F that. You gonna see me when we get to the dorm. Now, I'm also a type of person like I'll let you embarrass me in the dark, but you damn sure ain't gonna embarrass me in the light. Like this is the kitchen. This is literally breakfast time. They release 6 dorms at a time to go eat. So not only my dorm hearing this, my side, you got 2 or 3 other dorms in the kitchen at the same time. So it's one of the situations like, okay, man, all right, you want to see me? It is what it is. So I went to the table, mad as hell. Obviously, can't eat my food. My homeboy sitting across from me. He like, damn, man, that's, you know how your homeboys are. Yeah, what the fuck wrong with that nigga? You know what I'm saying? So I'm just like,
fuck that motherfucker.
You already talking something, man. You gonna eat your eggs? You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna get mad as shit. So dude was ballsy, man. So the dude was bigger than me, but not by much, man. He probably had me by like 30 pounds, and it wasn't like a good 30 pounds. It was just like he was a dude who just like ate and thought he could get big and beat people up. I don't know how to explain it, but anyways, he came and this is how I knew I was pissed off. He came and tapped my table. Bop, bop. Oh, let's go, and then walked off, bruh. Now, I always say this before I tell any fight story, just because, A, I'm not the baddest man in the world, but A, I'm not a chump. You know what I'm saying? Again, I'm a skinny dude, been moved around a lot. I used to get beat up a lot. And then eventually, once you start getting beat up a lot, you learn that You gotta start fighting back, and then
Word up.
I can fight a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
Please do something. Yeah.
exactly. So this is one of the situations where like I know I can fight, but I really just don't. I didn't want to fight, man. But
I get
he
it.
can call me out. It is what it is. And the last straw was him hitting my damn table like I'm a kid.
Oh,
So we went back to the dorm. And another thing that I learned: never go to somebody else's room. I learned this from my first experience. So we go to his room, trying to make a little quick story. We end up squabbling twice. First time I beat him, I realized like you can't beat me. And any fighter out here or non-fighter, I'm gonna tell you the story. If you're fighting somebody, right, and you hit them one or good times, and they start grabbing you, they can't fight.
Yeah.
The majority of the time, a lot of people will start swinging, and once they get hit, they're gonna start grabbing because they really can't fight. And this is one of the situations where he would swing, you know what I'm saying? And I can just tell like he really couldn't fight. And he thought just because he was bigger than me that he can outmaneuver me. I'm a small dude, but again, a military background, I've kind of been working out kind of all my life. So luckily I've had that behind me. Was kind of like roughhousing him, moving him around because I felt sorry, and I really didn't want to beat him up, but I was like kind of moving him, and I kind of choked him out a little bit. He was like, "Come on, let's go again." So we went again, beat him up off the hands, and then he didn't like that. His Muslim homeboys start coming in the room, and they was about to do me in. But luckily, like a few of my homeboys came in, and there was one big came in. Boy, I wish I knew his name. I give him so much respect. But there was one big out there. He was like, "Nah, y'all ain't about to do that to him." You know what I'm saying? He said his homeboy, his brother called him out. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be a one-on-one type stuff. But then, like, so the dude who called me out, this is why I say you never go in somebody else's room. So when it was over with, and the dude knew he couldn't beat me up no more, he like ran under his bed. And I ain't gonna lie, this is probably the scariest I ever was in prison. He like ran under his bed real quick and act like he was getting a shank. I'm gonna shake you, I'll kill you. You know what I'm saying? And I was like just caught off guard because by that time I was just on some stuff like y'all beat him up every time. And I was just kind of like walking towards the door type stuff. And I saw him like run under the room and grab it, and he like ran toward me. I was like, oh shit. And then he was like, yeah, and he just stopped. Get out my room.
Oh man, he wasn't really good.
I was like, man,
I could have did it if I had it. I don't got it.
Beat his ass one more time, but
Shit, yeah.
After that, I got to a few fights in prison, man, and then people realized that you can fight, you can hold your own. Of course, I had my bumps and bruises. I didn't win every fight, but I did what I had to do, and people saw that and they respected that, and I never got rocked with again. Because after that, your first few bids, then you start traveling. People know you from other yards. That's everybody used to call me North Carolina. Oh, that's North Carolina. Oh yeah, he'll get down. Don't worry about it. He cool people. Everybody know you. You get a good reputation. So
yeah,
that's a funny ass story.
Crazy, man. It's funny because once you're comfortable, it's like things go a little smoother. You know, you got other stories and shit.
Oh yeah, I mean,
it ain't always about war and beef.
People letting you know all the secrets. People, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, people. I don't know why, man. This is something like I always tell. Well, everybody, I guess. Like for some reason, like a lot of people gravitate towards me. Like I can go to almost any city. Like I can go to the hood. You know what I'm saying? Like I can go to the hood talking how I'm talking. People respect me. They'll fuck with me. They might talk shit about me a little bit, make fun of me a little bit. You know what I'm saying? And they're gonna fuck with the kid. I can go to the upscale, most motherfucking whitest neighborhood, and they're gonna fuck with me. I can go to the country's redneck town. They fuck with me. Like people fuck with me, and I don't know why. A lot of people gravitate towards me, and that's helped me out in a lot of situations in life, man. Like it really has, man.
You just got a cool like aura about you. You just laid back, just chill vibe about you and shit. You know what I'm saying?
I appreciate that for real.
And that showed through TV. Through TV, looking at TV and kicking it with you here in person, right? Like, you know what I'm saying? I could have knew it would have been like this just watching you off TV.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And that made me, I ain't gonna lie, that made me feel good too, because I can't speak on nobody else, and I went on there to be completely me, because I know that was like one of their questions, you know what I'm saying, like when they reached out to me to even be on. I didn't know what a 60 days in was, you know what I'm saying, until they reached out to me. So when they reached out to me, I was just on some stuff like, oh, this sounds like a good thing. But then they was like, so what do you think you're gonna? I was like, man, I don't know. All I know is I'm just gonna be me. You know what I'm saying? I know how to do time. That's the advantage I feel like I have going in. Like I know how to do time, and doing time to me is just being yourself. Like I tell that to everybody, just be yourself, man.
Yeah. And
that was me, man. In every scenario, the times I got pissed off, the times I was happy, I was genuinely again. I missed the birth of my baby, man. So even though I saw it on FaceTime,
that was hard for me.
Yeah. Let's kind of talk on that. Yeah, let's talk on the process. I know you can't tell details.
Mhm.
We're not gonna ask you any of that. But what was the process like? Did you have the same jitters? Did you feel like it was you going back to jail again, or did you feel like this shit ain't gonna be nothing? I did this.
So for me, I know jail is a battle just because mentally, you know what I'm saying? Especially me when I did real time. I did time where, you know what I'm saying? I did time where I didn't have nobody. I did time where I had people rocking with me. I mean, I did time where I was all I had. So I know all the ups and downs of doing a bid, you know what I'm saying? And again, doing a bid is really more mental than it is anything else, you know what I'm saying? So I went in knowing that I was going to have struggles mentally. I just had a baby. I would have been lying to myself if I didn't think that. And then when I got there, that became true because I've never done time with a baby that was my own before. You know what I'm saying? And I always go, it's crazy to me how people have kids and go to jail. You know what I'm saying? I understand certain circumstances happen, but for me, doing that time, man, I was like, man, this is awful, man. But I guess I don't know if I can say this or not, but if I'm not supposed to say this, I'm sorry. But I wasn't supposed to miss the birth of my baby. Yeah, I wasn't supposed to. So that was definitely not part of the plan. But universe works in mysterious ways, man. You either answer the call or you don't.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, wifey was, she had your back. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
that's the cool part about it and shit. And I'm sure it made it easier for you to go through this process.
That I say would not have happened if I didn't have her full support. Definitely not
a wife, man. For real, that's a trooper. That's dope. That's real love, man.
Well,
I know it's not an easy decision, man, because that's something you get a lot of hate about. Oh, he missed the whole birth of his baby. His baby. You know what I'm saying? It's like
they're always gonna see it their way. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I address that just because I know it's a thought, and I like addressing things head on. And I feel like if I tell people this, it's something that they probably didn't even know. I come from a military background, which I just got through talking about. You know how many people miss the birth of their children in the military on a regular basis because they're overseas, or how many truck drivers of America miss the birth of their children or doctors miss the birth because they were on call, they were in surgery, they didn't think their wife was going to go into labor on this day, but their wife ended up going to labor. But like, there are so many cases where people miss the birth of their children. That does not make you a piece of shit father. What about the people out there who made the birth of their children, but they are no longer there for their children? So which one would you rather me? Would you rather me miss the birth of my child, but
be there for long?
Be there for the rest of his life, put us in the best position possible to make it throughout this life. I'm here to leave a legacy, not only for myself, but for him now. Like, it's more than just me.
Yeah, he got something he could carry on in conversation.
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't like you was out there bullshitting. You know what I mean? It wasn't like you was out partying and missed it. Like, you had a legitimate reason for missing it. So I don't even see how anybody could come at you for that. That's crazy.
Hopefully he looks at it hopefully he's looking at it like, okay, yeah, I'm proud of my dad. And I get why some people are like, damn, like, how could he? Because they just don't understand that it's more than look, I had some of my they just don't understand that it's just, like, sometimes we have to make sacrifices. And if I didn't go, I would have never met Deshaun. I would have never met Bull Rider. You know what I'm saying? I would have never met Los. You know what I'm saying? I would never met half of these great people who are now my friends I rock with on a regular basis. You know what I'm saying? And I would have never gotten to help some of the people that I've gotten to help. And the most beautiful thing about this is there's so many people who will get help from me behind the scenes just because the show came on air. Like, I get so many people in my inbox now because of the show. And I seen reselling. This is something that I can do now.
That's real shit right there. Because that's the wave right now. And for you to be able to control a circle and do what you did, and not even the jail has programs like that. You know what I'm saying? And you here doing that out in the open of your free time.
Hold on. We got to dive into this the right way and shit. Let's dive into the show the right way, because this the first thing that I'm not even gonna lie. Going in, like, from the beginning, I was kind of worried about you, man. I felt like there was a possibility you might revert back and shit, because you did a good amount of time. 10 years wasn't just, a walk in the park. That's a good amount of time. I was like, damn, man.
I knew you wasn't
revert back and shit, What if he starts getting? Because we seen from the Abner, because Abner was, one of the first ones that had the previous background of being locked up. He kind of reverted back a little bit to his old ways and shit. So, I see Carlos, he reverted back. I was like, oh shit, And then when you got into it with dude, like immediately and shit, like,
yeah, I was happy though. I ain't
this
gonna
is no shot at nobody, man.
Not that I wish drama, but I was happy at that moment when I seen you. Like I said, that they needed to see that so they could just.
Saying that, and that's what it goes back to. If there was no cameras there or not, that scenario would have played out the exact same way. That was a jail thing. That was strictly a jail thing. I think you're trying me right now, because especially how he got all rah and stuff like that. Like, yeah, you're trying to send these signals like you're trying to pick a weak one. You know what I'm saying? No, it's not me. Yeah. So that's all that was. I would act like that. Cameras rolling, cameras not rolling. Like, again, I was me all the way, man, all the way, $100.
Yeah,
all the way.
Yeah. All right, so the headache thing in the shower with you and Carlos and shit. That shit, I was like, oh shit, like immediately and shit. How did you feel about that? And then supposedly they say he got the blame.
Yeah, he
rolled it up.
Yeah, I can't talk about that part. It has something to do with that.
Okay.
But so I will say this: them cameras and microphones are good as fuck, because they made it seem like I was kind of talking like regular to Carlos, and I wasn't. You know what I'm saying? I'm smarter than you look. You know what I'm saying? Than I look. So people like, why he yelling at Carlos? I wasn't. I was just like, yo, Los, you know what I'm saying? Or whatever his name was. Yo, you got a headache? Talking to my little way, just because I knew. And people also don't know this. They made it seem like I just called him out the blue. Nah, that had been maybe a few days. I knew who he was, though, probably within 45 minutes of sitting there meeting him. They called me out the cell. I walked down. This is my first time. I got put in my cell. They let us out for our very first rec. So I probably been there for about 2 hours. Walked downstairs, said I'm gonna do what I do, just sit back and chill, peep everybody out. I'm sitting on the table by myself. Los is sitting on the table across from me, and two other dudes are sitting like to the table right next to me. So this other dude, he's just always talked to me, so he was kind of talking to me a little bit. So then him and Los start talking back and forth a little bit, and then Los made a remark that people just don't say if you're supposed to be doing time. So I was like, he a participant. I said, yeah, he definitely a participant. So I let it go. A few days went by, and then I noticed something else, probably like day 3, about every single participant that was different than everybody else that I don't think nobody else caught. So I kind of peeped up close to see his name, and that was kind of different. Like, everybody had 3 names in Henry County, but the participants, like, they only gave us a first and last name. Everybody else's wristband, they had everybody like their full name. So when I peeped that out, I was like hiding my wristband a little bit more, and I walked up to Lewis and I saw that he only had 2 names too. So, and then I had already told my girl, which y'all saw me on the phone. I was like, Carlos Jimenez, which I shouldn't have done. That was kind of dumb of me, but I was so excited to know, to know I was right. I was like, yo, I think this dude, he's a participant, man. And then she happened to look him up for like visits or something like that, because we was trying to get our visits right, because our visits was messed up. He was getting more visits than me. And then she kind of realized, like, oh, hey, why come only certain people got 2 names, but everybody else do? And I was like, yes, because he's a participant. So that's why I went to Carlos in the shower and was like, yo, you know what I'm saying? I ain't been getting no headaches lately.
I was like,
that was a good way to approach it, to fuck his whole head up.
Yeah. It's funny now, and watching the show back, it's funny hearing him say, yeah, I got one, because I didn't know he really had a headache. I thought he was just like, you know what I'm saying, just trying to talk cold with me a little bit, hang around with me. But now I was laughing. I'm like, he had a headache for real. That's funny.
Yo, what was that quarantine like? That quarantine and shit.
For me,
which really wasn't quarantine.
I'm gonna keep it a buck, man. That's how we do time in South Carolina. So every jail in our county, in Greenville, that's how you do time. You come out 23-1. And then they changed it to you come out to 21-3, and they do that in our county too.
You took it pretty well out of everybody. You didn't like lose your shit. You know what I'm saying?
No, I mean, I did one time. They didn't show the one time that I really lost my cool, and that's because I had a bad toothache, man. Come to find out, those toothbrushes were really rough, because luckily Los told me that the same thing happened to him because I was real, man. I had a toothache. It was bad, man. It had been like 2 days, and it was bad. And if anybody had a toothache out there in the world, that's probably top 3 pain.
Yank that shit.
Yeah, top 3 pain. I was on stuff like, bro, like I need some Tylenol. They wouldn't give me no Tylenol. Like it was a whole thing. I went like 40 hours out Tylenol. I was like, man, y'all need to give me some Tylenol. Or and I still didn't, you know what I'm saying, get a sign. I just wanted some Tylenol, but I kind of showed my ass to get the attention of a captain who I didn't even know was there. I was really going off on one of these officers, and then the captain was right there. He ran in there. He was like, "What's going on?" And I was like, "Man, I got a toothache. I've been trying to get Tylenol. All your officers ignore me." He took me to get some Tylenol, and I was cool from there. But
yeah, I think the funniest shit for me was when you went downstairs and started banging on dude's door and shit. Yo, it's like if I ain't get no sleep, you ain't get no sleep with this. I was like, that's some petty shit I would have did, yo. Yep. Fuck that, boom.
People don't understand, man. Like that dude everything is worse than what it seemed, man. Like
because he was really mentally disturbed, right?
Yeah, he was.
You know, it wasn't like one of us trying to be an asshole to everybody. He was really fucked up.
He was really out there. But then you had to feed him, and he would be quiet for a few days. So once I learned that, it was over with. Like I used to slide snacks under his door every day. He started getting quiet at night. See, and then I learned they had earplugs on the canteen. It was definitely I got them. It was a wrap. Yeah, that last week was peaceful.
They finally ship y'all over to fucking I guess General Pop, whatever. What the fuck they want to call that over there?
You know, I walked in there. I was like, man, I'm gonna do 500 days in here.
Yeah. Y'all need me to stay a little longer because I'm good. I would. I got another class and shit planned out, no? All right,
It was cold as hell in there. If y'all saw, that was the only
you was wrapped in the blanket half the time.
Cold as hell, boy. That dorm was cold.
That bully dude pissed me the fuck off, though.
Yeah, man.
Thump pissed me the fuck off, son.
See, they introduced him as Thump and shit. He was like, "Yeah, they call me Thump."
He was just a silly pain in the ass. Usually it's a silly pain in the ass.
I don't know if it was just a camera work and shit. Never took look like he was thumping at all.
I wouldn't have took you as somebody scary or you Thump. You didn't come off that way. You came off real jolly and playful. Like I ain't get it, yo. I really didn't get it.
I ain't gonna lie, I'll give Thump this credit. Like in quarantine, he had a lot of people shook. Just because how we walked up on Carlos at the door and was like, "Yo, what kind of snacks you got?"
Yeah.
Thump did that to everybody.
But a lot of people fell for it.
Yeah, a lot of people, exactly.
And he bumped into somebody like Carlos that wasn't happy and shut that shit down.
He knocked on my door, told us, "Hey man, where the snacks at?" I was like, "What?" He's like, "Where the snacks at?" I said, "Man, I ain't got nothing for you, man." He was like, "Yeah, you do." I said, I just laughed. And he said, he laughed after me and just walked off. I was like, "What's wrong with this dude?" And I was like, and in my mind, I was like, "This dude gonna be a problem." I ain't gonna lie. I was like, "Yeah, this dude gonna be a problem. This one I'm gonna have to touch up." But then come to find out, Thump was. I don't know how to explain Thump, man. He was a big baby, but at the same time, man, he was.
He probably been through some shit too,
yeah.
You can tell he been through some shit.
He was in the same mental space as the young boy,
Deshaun.
They were in the same mental space.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Because he wasn't. He didn't act his age, man. He acted like a kid.
Yep.
He was a big kid. You know what I mean? But he was strong. If he really knew his strength, he really could have wowed out on anybody.
And that's why because I kind of noticed certain things about people too, you know what I'm saying? That's why I just like smacked them, you know what I'm saying? I didn't. Yeah. And then I
was happy for that too.
I was like, oh shit.
That's when it really showed he not about it. Because I said you can't do that to somebody who really about this shit. You swing on somebody, it's on and popping at that moment.
Did he swing back? Did he try to swing back? No. That's what I thought. See, I didn't see it. I didn't see him try to swing back and shit. I mean, but it was funny how he was quick to fight Nick.
That's what I thought. Quick.
He thought he definitely had the advantage.
I like Nick. Nick was about his shit though.
I made a comment on one of his videos because he be talking about Nick. He be dragging Nick. He be talking junk. I was like, you should have did something to me. Like, how come you and everybody be dragging him? How come you do that with the drag? And it's nothing. I am so non-violent, man. Like
but in those moments though, get it. Because I get it. I get it. I would have did the same shit.
It's like, come on, man, you picking on And that's different because, like I said in the video, so many people had tried Thump. So many people had, you know what I'm saying, was putting that, but you want to pick up. And then again, I didn't know he didn't really, Thump's defense, he didn't even really punch Deshaun, man. He like gave him a little push or whatever.
Yeah, that's what it was. It wasn't a punch. It was like a punch push.
Yeah,
he kind of just pushed him with his fist.
He punched Deshaun. That's
he didn't punch him the way they were saying it. Like, why you hit him? I said,
yeah. I'm like, come on, man.
Deshaun kind of fell a little dramatic too. So it wasn't.
He straight flop. Deshaun flop right there. I said, man, look at
NBA flop.
I ain't gonna lie though, I was proud when he hooked off.
He threw that punch. It was a little off center and shit. It was a little off balance and shit, but
it held weight though.
The message was served. This shit, yeah. The message was served. I think he called one knuckle. I think, yeah.
He connected with one knuckle. He was good.
Yeah, everybody's like, yeah. Everybody at home, yeah. It was like the Rudy story and shit.
Hey, for real, hey, word. That's how it was. For real. Everybody was like proud brothers.
What was it about him that you know drew him to you or you to him? Matter of fact.
So the first thing was so when I met him, he was 17. You know, he was about to have his birthday in jail, and then when I heard that he was 17. Automatically, you know, young dude in jail. Again, I told you I went to jail when I was 17, military prison when I was 17. And you can also, like you said, recognize there was just something about Deshaun. You know what I'm saying? Somewhere along the lines, somebody loved, I believe God, I guess we'll say, gave me the spirit of discernment, man. And I just felt like there was something in him, something about him, man. And especially just watching him for about 2 or 3 days and seeing how the dorm kind of picked on him a little bit, and he was just kind of like everybody's, oh, wake up today, I'm bored, let me go pick on Deshaun. That's just kind of how it felt, man. So I just wanted to kind of like just put him under the wing a little bit.
That's good shit though, man.
That's cool though, man. Like you could tell that kid just needs some guidance, man. You could tell he probably was in there off something influenced by somebody else, probably
somebody else or something.
So, and you could tell that it could probably happen again if he don't get the right direction and shit, you know. So I was definitely happy when you took him under the wing and shit. Pretty much at one point, your influence of taking him under kind of went across the whole dorm, and nobody was fucking with him anymore. So they all took him like under the wing, except for this dude is Thump. Thumpers.
I go back and Thump's defense, man. I didn't watching the show, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, the only moment, because I kind of was on Thump's side after a while, because you know, after a while you start seeing everybody kind of like start bullying Thump. And I guess I just start gravitating to like whoever's bullying, stop bullying him, don't bully, stop bullying me instead. And that was and that used to be my thing in jail a lot, man. Like bully me, man. Like bully me. And you know, it's jail. Sometimes you just want a reason to fight somebody too. So
you want to let off a little steam. So you like
I didn't really get to see.
I ain't going home no other way but fight. So let me show y'all something.
I didn't really get to see dude's face too tough, but whoever was in the bunk, the white dude and shit, he was ready to go at every point. Yo, like he didn't give a fuck. Yo, he's pulling the blanket off, like he was winning. He was about that shit.
Fight Thump too, like a few days before that. Like I said, that's why I said Thump. He had a lot of smoke on him, man.
Yeah,
he left the dorm at one point in time, and then came back, and it was just like,
that's some bullshit shit.
That was a bad look for him to even check out anyway and shit, and then it come back.
He's not all up there. Then they came back in motherfucking jolly, like, you know what I'm saying? Laughing, like the shit was a joke. And it kind of is, you know, right there, it shows you he's really not all up there. These people really need to be in, you know, sometimes they need to be medicated a certain way, you know what I mean? To level them out, you know what I mean? And man, shit.
Yeah, I agree with that wholeheartedly, man. Like Thump he could probably definitely be on that spectrum too. So
yeah,
you know,
he went through something. He got some trauma. You can tell.
Luckily, thank God, we really didn't have to put hands on that boy because
I'm not even gonna lie. Like you, I was at some point I was like, damn, it kind of seems like he's being bullied a little bit too and shit. Like towards the end and shit, I was like, but because it was like it's like anything he did, people was ready because
but Thump was an asshole too, though. Like, don't get it twisted. Like he was really going in people's room, looking in their stuff.
Yeah, son, like that
always
shit.
Asking for stuff. Always get somebody.
Everybody turned on him. I was like, damn, yo, that's fucked up.
Yeah, he was really that guy who was just no handouts, but he was horrible. Really.
Yeah. So what made you decide to come up with this you know, the class for the inmates to try to help them, you know, with making
when I was in jail, that's how I learned. So, you know, when you're doing time, you have nothing but time. Literally, you're not doing nothing. You're hoping sports come on, hoping some good show come on, and maybe a girl come on screen or something like that, flash by, but you ain't really doing nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So I learned when I was in prison and did real time, somebody kind of took me under their wing and taught me what the stock market was. I had no idea what the stock, I knew about the stock market a little bit, but I just saw numbers, but now I actually fully understood. And that's how I learned about anything financial was the stock market. And then he dove in and started teaching me about government issues and why you should vote, and teaching me about laws and how they correlate with why the laws change with certain bills and how they help certain businesses. And if you know what laws about to change, you'll know which stock to possibly buy, or where to gravitate towards your business possibly, or what tax breaks you can get because which law is about to come. So like he really opened my mind to all that. So and then in jail, everybody, well, not everybody, there's a lot of jails, they do prayer calls, where people be like, yo, prayer call. And then in a few prisons, you have other people who do other kind of classes and courses. You have your AA meetings. So it's not just different that people would gather around and talk about something. So I just thought about, hell, if they're doing prayer call, maybe they want to do an education call. So I just thought, just sat down and just wrote whatever misspelled financial down and wrote my little thing. And, people came to the.
Did you think that would have compromised your company?
No, don't get me wrong. I did think about it. It definitely crossed my mind. But again, it went back to, I seen it happen in jail and prisons all the time. A group of guys, they talk about something positive, no matter what it is.
Nah, that was dope. I thought it was dope. So, I thought it was brilliant. For real.
Yeah. So, we did that for a few weeks. So I'm glad, I'm glad them boys came in. I know we had some snacks sometimes. So one week, and they won't show this, like 1 week I offer snacks intentionally because sometimes you have to, have some good water or some Kool-Aid to get a lot of people to come drink. So some people probably did come for some snacks. The second time I didn't, and people still came. So, that's why I think I was more proud than anything. Because people, and there's a hunger for knowledge. Like a lot of people are locked up. I mean, y'all did time? Jail?
Not full on time, but yeah, I did bits. Yeah.
So how you do in jail or whatever, how just people just talking, they just seeking some kind of knowledge, and more people want positivity than negativity. A lot of people just get into situations where all they know or all they're drawn to is negativity. And let's be completely real. Sometimes, people say fast money is not good money, but that's what we see. Sometimes it is. Sometimes fast money is good money. But
that's a new wave.
Yeah, a lot of people chase fast money too long, and then that's where people get caught up. So I just wanted to just show people okay, so you want to chase this money fast. You think you can go out there and sell more weed than I can sell stuff from Goodwill, because I think I can pretty much hang with any mid keyword, any kind of just mid drug dealer out there when it comes to what my bank account looks like. You're out there re-upping ounces over and over and over. You need to quit selling drugs, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That's what you have a lot of people out there doing. So I can show you another way, stop re-upping them ounces and re-up on some of these random ass items out here. Like you see freaking baby toys. Then you see, I have I have Jordans, LeBrons, and all kinds of stuff, and a stack of shoes over here. I have plates. I sell it all, and I find all this stuff for $2 and $3, and the stuff's going to sell for $40, $50, hundreds of dollars. I've turned $5 into $420 several times. I've turned $5 into thousands of dollars quickly. You know what I'm saying? I've done it quicker than my homeboy, who is a drug dealer till this day. You know what I'm saying? My bad. Let me put quotation because he has a real job.
He looking at you now and shit
and that's what they do. A lot of people, yo, man, how do you? And that's one of the main reasons I started my YouTube channel. Because when I first started, you know how it is. You first start something. Yo, I'm over here getting money. Whatever. Go get a job. Go get a real job. You ain't working. Go get a job. All right. 6 months go by. I'm over here getting money. Yo, I'm over here getting money. Yo, you still ain't got no job? You okay? You know, have I asked you for anything in the past 6 months?
Exactly.
Year go by. Then they start coming around. Hey, bro, so that reselling thing you doing? I see you doing good. I see you doing good. And it's just I want to show people there's a legal hustle. It's not even about reselling. There's so many other forms of making money. Man, I'll take surveys online for a few hours to make some cash. I'll use certain apps just to get gas, just to make cash back. There's just a lot of ways that we don't utilize the free money that's out there for us. Yes. And that's what I try to do.
Almost a form of couponing on the next level with shit.
That's what, I won't pay retail for nothing else besides shoes ever again.
Yeah.
It's
Trust
awful.
me, I'm on the same wave.
Yeah.
For real.
Shit.
For real. And it's addictive,
What
man.
do you
It's more about the just positivity side more than anything. Because when I walked out of prison, you know, one of the last words that an official told me was I would be back. You know what I'm saying? Because I ain't gonna lie, when I was in prison, the last year I wasn't I wasn't a hard worker at all. Like they may force you to work, get a job. I went to work, half-assed it, lollygag. I'm about to go home, man. I'm shocked. I don't give a damn what y'all talking about. I got less than a year left, and I'm not about to work for y'all. And this lady, she was like, with your work ethic, you just ain't gonna make it in life. And it's like, why am I gonna give y'all all my blood, sweat, and tears for jail? Y'all want me to fold this?
Got me for 10 years and shit.
All my might.
Can I just chill? Damn, yo.
And it's like, how you gonna tell somebody that, man? Like, why would you, a black lady at that, tell me a young
that shit hurts, yo.
Coming home?
But do you think it's a thing they came up with to almost have
yeah, I get it.
To plant that seed in your head, like
you, baby.
Or they saying it out of hate, like you motherfucker, you'll be back.
Well, some of them, it might have been designed to with good intentions, but then you got those that want to give it to you with that ill delivery.
Not her. I mean, and there's ways that you go about doing that too, but she definitely didn't do it the right way, and she definitely. And again, I ain't gonna say give her an out, because I just told y'all I wasn't the best worker in my last year. I mean, because I was about to go home. I did my job, but I didn't do it to the best of my ability. I didn't go above and beyond, you know. But she just felt I could do more, and I was just like, "No, you don't even know me, man. Why would you tell me that? You know, like you shouldn't be encouraging me." And she could have told me a completely different way. She could have been like, "Yo, I just want to, before you go home, I'm worried about the way that you worked this past year and a half or whatever. You know what I'm saying? There's some things that you can utilize before you go home." Don't tell me, are you coming back because you work piss poor with the way you work. I can see you coming back. I'm like, don't talk to me like that. You know what I'm saying?
But people that don't even need that job, man. She don't even need that job. She sound like she fed up already. So
and I'm like, wherever you are, commissary lady, I make more money than you, and I work probably way less hours than you.
Yes.
So let me ask you, my brother, you teach classes and shit for all that? Like what do you do?
So I don't necessarily teach classes. So I did just build a website recently. It got kind of postponed because of the show and everything, but where I was going to start doing one-on-one classes and courses, but it's going to be more like a consultation. And then I did the show. And then the response for me the response for people wanting me to teach them got a little bit overwhelming. And then I know there's multiple ways where I can like put together a course where I can teach several people at one time and then still offer that one-on-one assistance that people will be proud of and feel like they will get value out of. So I'm trying to put a course together like that right now, but I still do offer one-on-one consultations for people if they have any questions like that, but they have to go to my website to book it. Cool. But because of the show, I just want to give back in a bigger way. You know what I mean? And I also am a firm believer that like my time is definitely money, man. And people kind of don't realize that too. Like I get so many messages, can you teach me? Can you do this? Can you do this? And it's like, man, I have a whole baby. I have a whole business that I'm running. I still have I have a lot that I'm doing behind the scenes. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm really a one-man show when it comes to everything that's Prison to Profit. So with all that being said, I just don't have time to just teach everybody one-on-one. So I put a price out there, you know, everybody's time is worthy of something. So I can fast track you to all the information that you need for this price. And I tell everybody this, it's even on my website, like everything that I learned for free. You can find all this free information on YouTube. Are thousands of YouTubers who teach reselling. I am one of them. You don't even have to watch my content. You can find somebody's content who you relate to, watch them and learn from them. I guarantee if anybody took anything, and again, I always go back to not reselling. If you want to go paint walls for a living, go watch YouTube 30 days, watch videos, dedicate 3 or 4 hours a day to just watching videos, want to perfect something, get into it. And I guarantee you can probably be better than anybody that you're watching. All it is just soaking in whatever kind of knowledge that you want and really just doing it, man. People always make excuses. I don't have time, but they got time to like everybody else's videos. They got time to post irrelevant crap on social media. They got time to watch irrelevant crap on TikTok, irrelevant crap on YouTube, stuff that's not helping them or their family or their empire.
Yep.
And I just don't understand that. We waste time in a lot of ways. And don't get me wrong, there's 24 hours in a day. I'll probably waste a good 7 hours, but I am at to a place where I can do that now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Exactly. You worked your way up, man. You know, that's one thing. Like, besides that part, I really admired the way you decided to use those days in the county jail. Like, I really admired that you took dude under your wing. I like that you did your own thing and you didn't fall in just because you knew other participants. You didn't fall into anything they were doing. You know, I love the fact that even all the way up into the end, when you guys did the reunion, you still held your ground. Even though you and Carlos did different time, you know what I mean? You still had his back all the way to the end and shit. And you didn't down talk him. Even, you know, when they were all trying to say, oh, he did bad time and shit, he was bugging out, he was causing problems and shit, you know, you still held it down and you still had his back through that. And I admired that, you know.
Yeah, of course. And people don't realize this too. And this is not no, Carlos knows I'm real. That's my dog all the way to the end. I shouldn't have to say that. Carlos already knows what time it is.
Yeah.
I didn't know anything that Carlos did in the season. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was away in my pod and then Carlos was doing his thing in his pod. So all the stuff that Carlos was doing, I didn't know about. So I met Carlos in quarantine. We kind of, like I said, once we discovered that we were both participants, we built a bond because that's something like we know about each other. We built that bond.
Yeah.
Now that we're home, like we continue to talk. The show came out. I see stuff that I didn't agree that Carlos did. I don't agree with some of the stuff that he did.
Yeah.
Everything, and then Carlos don't agree with everything that I did. But I'm not gonna bash the dude because me and him became friends, and I'm not no snake or no two-timing dude. That was my dog while we were back there. He gonna be my dog when we leave.
Word up.
And everything I said was true. Like, again, I didn't agree with everything he did, everything that he did. He had his own mission and did whatever he wanted to do when he came on the show. I had my own intentions to do whatever I wanted to do. I wasn't going to interfere in nobody else's stuff. I didn't want to get on there and be no competition to nobody else or, they're doing all this. Let me do all, like, I knew what my mission was from the jump. And I can't wait when our thing is over with so I can really talk how I want to talk because I still have like a lot of
bring all of y'all back. I want to bring all of y'all back.
That'd be super dope.
That'd be dope.
Because one thing
Carlos already said he want to come back and tell somebody
on the show, man.
Yeah, because what really
day one.
What got me right was when Tap Out want to act real gangster against y'all, like you, if you mad at the way people gonna view you for tapping out, why you mad at the circle? Because they completed what they had to.
That was bananas.
One girl tapped out and people respected it, but you, I guess he had a complex behind
it. Was his ego.
And he had a complex behind it. He was taking it out on y'all. And that shit turned me off because at the beginning, I was really respecting him for how he was guiding Nick. And then you turned into the person. I was like, ill.
Man, I didn't even know this dude didn't like us or had the beef or all the animosity in his heart. And let me tell you something, man. If you're the show's been out 12 weeks now, 13 weeks. So we've been something like that, yeah. So I can say when we were in jail because they showed it on TV. We were talking about the basketball game. We were parlaying on the Warriors game. So we were in jail in June. We just left the jail. So this man has been hating on Carlos and the other participants for almost 3-4 months now. It's like you don't have nothing else to talk about. And you sit here and you say that you're positivity and change. And I'm not going to sit here and just bash Lucky Chucky. He knows how I feel. I slide in DMs. I don't go do this social media warrior stuff. I will address one or two things. He gets on social media all the time and he bashes all of his participants. We get to the reunion. I addressed how I felt. I didn't know the man. I checked him. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You had all the stuff that you were saying. Oh, no. Now you invite me for drinks. We cool. Then we come back home again. Now you on social media again running your mouth. See, I don't like fake people like that. I have nothing against Lucky Chucky, man. Anybody who decided to come on the show, man, I had nothing against none of the participants. I don't care if you went back there to be the snitchiest of the snitch. I don't view what I went back there to go do as snitching. People can, the inmates, when I was back there, the inmates I was back there with, they fuck with me. I let that speak volumes in itself. They don't fuck with everybody, but they fuck with me. But
that was gonna be one of my questions. So you said you still cool with everybody. How did they take it, knowing that you was part of the program?
Yeah, that's a good one.
Okay, I will say the most shocking one was Deshaun. Deshaun didn't like it. He was pissed. He didn't like that. But I get it. Like it comes across as you're somebody that you're not. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
But a lot of these people realize that I am who I was. I'm the same person who I was back there.
All it was a change of name. You knew me for another name.
Exactly.
You got to know me, but I just gave you another name.
Yeah, facts, and that's what it is. And the people they realize that, man. And I think that's what it's about.
That's good.
Like even Bull Rider, my dog, he was like, "Man, you got me, man. You definitely got me." And like I said, I went back there for one reason alone. I wasn't worried about nobody calling me no snitch. That wasn't on my mind. I went back there to try to help my brothers, man, because like we need change. And I know it's crazy. Again, I didn't know what 60 Days In and the premise of the 60 Days In show was. They came at me with like, "Hey, you want to go back to jail? What would you go back to jail for?" That's how it got brought to me. Oh, if I did go back to jail, I would go back to help people. That's how it got brought to me. It didn't come to me like, "Hey, this is 60 Days In. We want you to go back there and get drugs for everybody." You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It didn't come out like that. So for me, I knew what I was about to go back there to do immediately, what my mission was, and I felt that was my actual calling. I never knew what my calling was in life, but it's crazy that somebody would call me on the phone like, "Hey, you want to go back to jail?" Hell no, I don't want to go back to jail. But listen, this is why we want you to go back to jail. And then they gave me the option to tell them like, "Yo, what would you go do?" So, you know, and that's
dope.
That's what it's about for me, man. You know, obviously there was scenarios that I can see on TV that, you know, that they played where we're talking about certain situations with a jail that can come across as, I think I said something about the jail, how they didn't shake you down or something like that. Everything that I talked about was on camera. So if it was seen on camera, I talked about it. If it got asked me, I talked about it. I didn't get voluntary thing. And people know, that's why I said people who fuck with me, they know what time it is, man. People know what a real snitch is, and people know.
Nah, believe it, brother. You made your mark. You made your mark respectfully, yo. You really did. You didn't come off with that kind of vibe at all. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, seeing you on TV, I would have guessed that this would have been the same vibe. Just watching you off TV.
And that's lucky Chucky. And I was going to say that because we were talking about Chucky, and that's his thing against all of us supposedly. But you get if you watch Chucky's 5 seconds on TV, he clearly says the same thing I do. Oh, they don't shake us down when we come in. Like he leads to stuff that can be led as snitching. You didn't participate more than 5. Look, guys, y'all, how can you have this opinion? Yeah, fuck Chucky. If you have this opinion about jail, you didn't last 5 hours out the cell. You've lasted like 3 days. You was dope sick, and then you checked out. Exactly. Let's be real. If y'all go back and watch the footage, the man was sick the entire time.
Exactly.
And then he went home. Look at his eyes. Look at his interviews. He didn't last long at all. And then he's mad that Carlos is the cover man and not him. He's mad that he didn't last, and he needs something to talk about because he knows that people was going to kill him on social media for walking in talking to big boy. Oh, I'm gonna do this standing on my dick. I was hoping we did this in Cook County Jail or LA.
They even said it Rikers. He said, I even asked him if I go to Rikers.
Nah, they would have ate him in Rikers.
Like, come on, bro. Like, they don't even sound. And I hate it because, again, I went in with respect for Chucky. I didn't care about.
I thought at the beginning I was vouching for him, yo. I really was. That shit changed around quick.
I don't know. I kind of peeped it when he threw that extra bop and shit before he walked through the doors and shit. Yo. I was like, oh, he looking a little nervous there and shit, yo. Yeah. I was like, oh shit, yo. Here we go.
Hey, yo.
Chucky, he don't like me. He likes talking about my son, man. So that's the main reason I don't like Chucky. Like, and I even told Chucky this in the DM because I'm a man. Yeah. Like, he got problems. He already know what time it is. Like, we're grown. We shouldn't have to like pull up. Like, this shit happened. But if you ever feel the need, like we're in the same city and we want to do it, because I go to his city. I travel. Like he supposedly travels. You can come to my city. Like we don't need to set up no boxing match because we ain't about to do nothing for charity. Like, bro, I'm not a fighter. I'm an MMA. We can MMA. If you really like want to fight, he keeps saying throwing his boxing stuff out. Like MMA, let's do some MMA stuff. You know what I'm saying? I'll let you stay at your same weight class, and I will stay at my same weight class, and then we can do some MMA stuff. But as far as boxing, I will pass on that because I like to use my feet. I like to choke people out and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? I like to take the easy win on fights. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to beat somebody to death. I like to just choke you out, prove a point.
I'll pay to see that. I'll pay to see that. We could go live on our talk with that. We'll make it
we'll set that up, y'all. We'll
make
set
it
up.
He's just like he just runs his mouth, and I told him that in his DM. But for me, it was just keep my son's name out your mouth. Like you can literally say whatever you want about me.
He went that far.
Yeah, and that's why I don't like Chucky now. Like again, he
get no respect. Listen, or who you fuck with, who we fuck with. Same thing we told Carlos. He said, I know y'all all fuck with each other. That's who we fuck with. You know what I'm saying?
Like Rose, I've known her for years. Like I interviewed her years ago. We've been cool ever since. And then I linked with Carlos and same vibe and shit. We cool as hell and shit. You cool as hell. You part of the iTalk family now.
Yeah. Make sure y'all subscribe, man. Smash that like button too.
Yeah. Tell everybody actually where they can reach you or the Prison to Profit or anything you're working on.
I am Prison to Profit on every platform. I know everybody has a favorite platform that they like. Some people like being on multiple platforms, but find me Prison to Profit on everything. But as far as YouTube is concerned, I'll claim YouTuber. That's what I am now. I do have like 2 different YouTube channels. My main channel, Prison to Profit, which is the one that you just see right here. That is everything that I talk about, just financial, anything dealing with money, anything dealing with business. I put on that channel right there. And then I have another channel called Prison to Profit, and then just life right after it, Prison to Profit Life. And on that channel, I do more of the 60 days in stuff, do reaction videos, and just really just talk about my experience when I was in prison. So those are the 2 main reasons for having 2 separate channels, and also the ad revenues 2 completely different on the channels too. So I got to keep those separate. But I have like 1 million YouTube channels. About to start a podcast. Me, Carlos, and Rose. We're about to start a podcast soon. So
I heard about that.
We're trying to.
That's dope. Y'all all got a dope vibe, man. I definitely think it'll take off. You guys was the main characters, for the most part. Not characters. I hate to say characters.
I make fun of Carlos and Rose all the time. I like the Carlos and Rose show. They sprinkle.
Man. I'm telling you, your story was just as good as theirs, man. Because we watched the teeter totter because you was almost falling back into it. You know what I'm saying? Like when you barked that dude at the beginning and shit, the blanket came over. White. I was like, oh shit, here you go, shit, yo. I was like, damn, the blankets on the floor is a wrap and shit, yo. And then when you smack dude, I was like, oh man, just make it through the 60 days, man.
I probably can't say this either. I'm probably saying still a lot of stuff I'm not supposed to say. But on the show, right, on the gambling stuff, they made me look bad. I ain't like that. It was like,
that was another thing,
I was like, no, that's not how that went down at all. Okay, so it went down like that, but it didn't go down like that. So when everybody was like, damn, man, they voted to get the stuff back, which, okay, I was cool with that.
I seen it.
You should have seen the love that all the guys showed me. So the canteen was probably I want to say it was like $25. Matter of fact, I think it was a $25 bag. The boys let me end up keeping like $11 worth of that shit. They was like, hey, bro, we know you put in work of that. You know what I'm saying? We already know what time it is. Bull Rider gave me like $3 out the sack. A few other people was like, yo, here go $1. Here go $1. Man, no, you put in work. So it ain't like them boys was mad or nothing. The boys showed love, man.
They had to tweak it a little bit.
Yeah.
What was Bull Rider really like? He seemed like he was just like the fucking man and shit. I ain't even gonna lie. He looked like, yo, fuck with him is gonna be a problem.
Bull Rider was just chill, man. But I'm gonna say this about Bull Rider, man.
That's a dope name too.
Bull Rider had a good. Yeah, it is for real.
Yeah.
He had a good heart, man. Like Bull Rider probably had one of the best hearts in the dorm. Like he wasn't like you couldn't be his roommate and not eat if he was eating. You know what I'm saying? You really couldn't be in the dorm. You know what I'm saying? If he was eating. So when we was in the small dorm, like 12 or 13, what was like 16 people in the dorm, he would feed everybody. He would cook a set up and just like feed everybody who didn't have or who wanted some. And then when we got in the bigger dorm, he would still do that, like for his roommates. And then he would just like narrow it down to the people who really didn't have nothing. Yeah, man. Bull Rider was a good dude. And at the same time, like, he didn't take no shit. Like
I mean, with the name Bull Rider, you can't.
You know what I'm saying? He played around sometimes, you know what I'm saying? He was a big goofball at times, but then there was times he was serious, you know what I'm saying? He really wanted some positive change for the jail and stuff like that. So, he definitely good people.
Do you know how he felt about you being a
participant? Oh, yeah. He told me, he was like, I was surprised. He not mad at all, man. He understand it. He respect it. He said he commends me on, you know what I'm saying, what I went back there to go do, you know. Like I said, man, there was so many people from the show who reached out to me and they're like, man, I found you, man. Good job. Like one of my roommates, Black, he reached out and said something to me. It's like, yo, bro, you got me, bro. Boy, I had no idea. You know what I'm saying? You got me. And then, you know what I'm saying? He ain't saying nothing else to me since. But you know what I'm saying? People are showing me love. Like, I see why you went. Good look, boy. About time somebody went back there and tried to do something. Like, I get a lot of love. Obviously, everybody get hate. I get 1 or 2 hate comments, but man,
you got the trolls that they do that for their little shine. That's
you did it the right way, man. You did it the right way. Before we close out though, what I didn't like though was the sheriff or whatever the fuck he was, the warden. For one, it felt like he was there to start some sort of fucking career in acting. Or so, I don't know what the fuck he was. This shit was crazy. We was bugging out of the crib watching this shit. Like,
look, Scandrett don't do nothing but just play his drum.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Hang out with his celebrity friends. Okay, so I'm gonna say this about the sheriff real quick because everybody's bashing the sheriff. So I'm trying to think of somebody I can equate to. David Stern. He's over the NBA, right? Mm-hmm. But do you think he goes to the Golden State Warriors facility and checks how their bathrooms look, checks with every single player, goes to like the G League and check you know what I'm saying? He doesn't do that. He has one job. Everybody reports to him the problems. His job is to fix it from there. So the difference between Georgia and a lot of different states, the sheriff does not run the jail. There was 4 other people who was always on camera and always around, but they didn't get no screen time. Those were the people who run the jail. There was a black lady, the black dude, and the white dude who I think Shaq called him Larry Bird. Those are the ones actively in the jail all the time. Those are the ones who would spot these problems, identify these problems, and take them to the sheriff and like, we fixed these problems. It's not the sheriff's job to walk into a jail because he has a warden for that. He's not the warden. The sheriff is the sheriff of the actual county. He's over the entire county in Henry County. So he's over like the schools as well as the actual street officers. So when it comes to like his job, who do you think bitches at him more? The jail or his actual officers who get threatened and bitched at by regular citizens on a regular basis? The citizens.
See, we in Atlanta. We in Atlanta right now.
Yeah, so it's not like, now I will say this, he should have walked through that jail at least once since he's been elected and identified some of these problems. I will definitely say that he should have done that. Horrible. But he is not the one when something happens, they're calling Mr. Scandrett, an inmate in C1 just got into a fight. He don't know nothing about the jail. Nothing.
My thing is, it felt like he always had an excuse for everything y'all threw at him and shit, yeah. He didn't just say, you know what? We're gonna work.
Chucky came at him with a bunch of bullshit though, so he looked at Chucky like, this motherfucker, and that's why. So how can you have and everything? There was a lot of excuses that was getting said that they were just lies. We had fruit, we had milk. They said there was
a lot of the shit the women went through.
We got to work out on a regular basis. We just couldn't work out in certain areas. Everything that Chucky said and complained about that America's like, oh, he's right. He lied about.
Man.
This man said it was cruel and unusual punishment. Does anybody really know the definition of cruel and unusual punishment? Trust me, Henry County was bad, but I say it's bad on a lot of levels of like cleanliness, the way the officers treated you. The food could have improved. It wasn't like they weren't feeding you at all. You know what I'm saying? You were getting meals that you were required. That's it. So I mean, every jail can have improvements. Every single jail can have improvements. But when you say cruel and unusual punishment and be like, oh, we're not getting our milk and our daily vitamins, do you think any jail in America could run and not serve you vegetables? Come on, man. Do you think any jail in America could run and not give you the essentials that you need? Now, granted, there was times that they were slipping on the toothpaste and toothbrushes and stuff like that. But when it comes to like certain things that people complain about, like they were just lies. They were just saying stuff just to have something to say because you didn't last to identify the real problems and the change that really needed to be made. So
that's corny. Yeah, that's whack.
All right. Well, you got to check. All right. So you plugged all your websites and the ways for them to contact you. Anything? There's nothing else that's coming up you don't want to plug or anything, just to make sure. No.
Nah, man. Just make sure you go follow my other 3 dogs. You know what I'm saying? Carlos, Trinity, and Rose. You know what I'm saying?
Shout out.
We'll be friends for life. Again, no shot at nobody else who I participated with. It's just like us 3, we got a bond. Me and Trinity, or not me and Trinity, but me and Rose, we actually went in together. And Rose kind of said some slick stuff to me as we were going in. And I thought we would hate each other, but that's my girl. And then
she's cool as hell, man.
She seemed like a good vibe too.
I've seen her growth and shit. Like she told me she was like we talk a lot and shit. It's dope, man. I'm so proud of her, man. Yeah, she's doing a lot of things and she's using her 15 minutes wisely and shit, yo.
Nothing but success for her, man. I hope, like, man, I hope they all get utilized they 15 minutes. And I really, as far as me, man, in my future, what I will say is I'm just gonna keep moving as if I was never on 60 Days In, if I keep it a buck with you, man. I'm just gonna keep doing everything that I was doing before I was even on the show. Like I feel like, you know, the show was a chapter for me to go in there, do my mission. I did my mission, and it is what it is. As far as trying to capitalize off the show, I'm kind of done with it. The season's over with. So as far as me making 60 Days In post and 60 days, like all that's over with. Like it's happened. It was in the past. It's over with. Now I want to move into what else I can do for me, myself, and my business. Yeah, but that's just about it, man. Just trying to focus.
Dope,
and
you can always use the iTalk platform to promote your stuff. Come on, we live every day. There's a link always to tap in, join the panel. You family.
Anything you need, you part of the iTalk family now, man. Like I said, anything you need, anything you want us to promote, we there, man. And we like to close it out on a positive note. And shout out to Maine. We got another co-host that he couldn't make it. But if you was walking along and you seen somebody like Deshaun, getting ready to cross that street, and you know what's on the other side of that street, what would you tell him?
Man, first I would ask him why. You know what I'm saying? Because I think we are so quick to judge individuals without knowing their why. We're so quick to jump down somebody's throat, or even just we're so quick to give somebody advice that they didn't ask for. So I will probably just figure out what this young man's why is, figuring out why is he about to go down the path that he's going out. And then once I hear his why, then, I feel like I have a rebuttal for everything. Then I would come from a rebuttal from that standpoint, tell him why. Because a lot of people would just, I need money. I can come from, well, you can just do it this way. Or, I didn't have my dad in my life. Oh, well, let me, what I'm saying? You just need attention then. So let's just talk about this way. So we need to find everybody else's why and see what they need first. And if it's something that we can really help them with, then that's what we need to do. Because a lot of people, they want to tell somebody, nobody asks them though.
That's true.
Well said. Well said.
Definitely. Yeah. Again, we appreciate you coming on, man.
Yes,
I definitely wanted to bring y'all all back so we could. Once everything is clear and you clear to say whatever the hell you want, I really want to have all of y'all back because it would be fun just have all 3 of y'all on the fucking panel and shit, y'all.
Oh yeah.
That would be dope as hell. Again, if anything you want to promote, anything you need, if you want to do a virtual, sale, whatever you got going on, you know what I'm saying? Hit us up. We got you, man.
Yeah, we live every day, brother. We got people on us every day, so for sure, definitely, man. Again, we appreciate you. God bless you and your family. You know what I'm saying? And much success in your life, brother.
Yeah, thank you, for real, both of y'all.
As always, we're gonna go out. If they only knew, we're just gonna go out with the you for might want to check this out. We did the interview with the real original Freeway Rick Ross. So if you want to check that out, we're gonna go out with this preview. If they only knew.
There have been startling accusations that the United States government itself may have actually helped bring drugs into this country.
And in Los Angeles, a drug dealer known as Freeway Ricky Ross was in the middle of it.
Ricky was real smart. He always found getting into something. He tried to drive when he was 4.
You can recognize forms of struggle. You know when the refrigerator is empty, there's no milk, no cereal. So, you know, when I was a kid, I vowed that I was going to take care of my mom. Mom was my world.
Just be the one person that smoked. And boom. That's how you get started. Who else in the history of America had a case where the CIA was implicated in working in that case?